Welcome to Spine Care Foundations. I'm Jeanette Connery, your teacher, and this day we will be using a strap. You can also substitute a belt or a bathrobe tie or anything at all that resembles a strap. Okay, we're just going to use that to stretch the legs. You will also be needing either a yoga block or a rolled up towel tied up tight with twine. We'll also use a towel or blanket later on. And of course, a chair. And the chair is where we're starting today. So let's lie down on the floor with the legs on the chair. So as always, if you have lower back disc problems, or if your low back hurts for any other reason laying on the floor like this, please pad under your lumbar spine, okay? A thin pad, an inch, maybe an inch and a half thick, just under that low back can really make all the difference. So now we're going to just do this initial relaxation, right? Before we go moving the body, we want to make sure that everything is relaxed. We can release the tension from the body by lying here on the floor with the legs on the chair. And you'll notice that this is a great spot. This is a great position for releasing tension in your lumbar spine. And if you bring your hands out to your sides with the palms facing up, you'll notice that's a really great position for releasing tension from your upper back and your chest. So while we're here, we can double our tension release by just bringing attention to the breath. So let's try that here. Bring your attention to the breath and breathe. Now, let your breath be soft and easy. No need to be forceful in trying to take a very deep breath or anything like that. Just relax and let the breath happen naturally on its own. You'll notice breath by breath, gradually, your body releases a little bit more tension. With each exhale, the body releases tension. And if you relax a little bit more, you'll notice that the breath and the body start working together. The body relaxes enough to allow the breath to come a little deeper without any extra effort. You might notice your breath going down into the bottom of your rib cage, possibly down into your stomach, maybe even down into your low back. And just a little initial thought, a little intention setting here for us today. Let's think about joy. What are your ideas around joy, your beliefs about joy, what it is and what it means, and how do you get joy in your life? So I'd like to invite you to examine your beliefs about yourself in relation to joy with an attitude of curiosity, exploration. No need to be judgmental here, feel bad about anything, but sometimes people carry the belief that joy is something we will achieve or something that we will come to deserve after we achieve a goal, right? So after I do fill in the blank, then I'll be happy. And sometimes people think that maybe they just don't have joy. Maybe it's just not their lot in life, or their circumstances prevent them. They're just not able to be happy. So what we know about the truth about joy is that for you to be happy is the reason you were created. It is your birthright. And joy is available to you in every moment, underneath all the layers of all the other stuff. It's our true nature, really. So the invitation, the intention today for our yoga practice is to move the body in a way that lets us get a little closer to that joy that's underneath. So sometimes that's making our movement smaller, right? Sometimes it's no movement at all in order to line up the sensations of the body with the joy that exists underneath, inside. So bringing our first movement to the practice today, let's bring the right foot to the edge of the chair. Bring your hands onto your right knee and hold your right knee there just like that with the effort from your arms. No effort in the hip here. If you were to remove your hands, your knee would flop out to the side, your leg would fall. Okay, take a few breaths here, relaxing completely in the right hip and the left hip, all the way around the hip joints. Still with a soft, easy, relaxing breaths. And we'll put that right foot back up on the chair, the right leg all the way up on the chair. So the chair, the seat of the chair is supporting the backs of your knees. And I didn't mention this earlier, but if you're not comfortable flat on the floor in your neck, give yourself a little head support with a little folded towel or a little baby pillow. All right, now we'll do the left leg. Okay, so we're bringing the left foot to the edge of the chair, both hands on the left knee, relaxing both hips, both legs completely, allowing the breath to happen. Last breath. Relax your hips completely. Good. Now, both legs are back on the chair again, and we're going to do something with the upper back, okay? So interlace your fingers in front of you. Keep your arms straight. Inhale, bring your arms up just a little, and exhale, bring them back down. So as you inhale, bring your arms up again, you can gradually, breath after breath, movement after movement, increase the movement in your shoulders here. And you'll notice this has the effect of flattening out your upper back. Feels lovely. Now, some of us are going to increase our movement until we eventually touch the floor over our heads. Others of us are going to find that at a certain point, there's going to be a sensation in the shoulder that says, this is my stopping point. So we inhale right up to underneath the stopping point. Don't even allow yourself to get to that stopping point. And exhale, melt away from it, softening easily, keeping yourself calm the whole time. Paying very close attention to all the sensations of the shoulders here so that you can detect with pinpoint accuracy the appropriate moment to reverse your direction. Just about 3 more breaths like this. Good. Okay, now we're done with the chair. So let's bring the feet to the edge of the chair and push the chair away. Good. And I need to sit up. You can stay down. I need to sit up to look at my notes. Next, we're going to get the strap. Okay. And lie down. So now we'll just use this strap to stretch out the hamstrings a little bit. And we're taking the right foot, putting it through that strap, just like this. One end of the strap in each hand, okay? Pull your toes down. Keep your knee bent as much as you need to here. We're trying to stretch the space in the back of the leg. Avoid feeling this in the back of the knee, okay? So if you do feel it in the back of your knee, try bending the knee a little bit more. Take a breath, and as you exhale, pull the leg in towards you. As you inhale, let the leg go away. Exhale, the leg comes towards you. Inhale, the leg goes away. Keep going 2 more times. And on the 4th repetition, let's hold. We're holding. Take a breath here. Exhale slowly. Pull the toes down a little bit more. And let's move that ankle. So we're holding a stretch in the hamstring as we move the ankle here. Toes go up and down, just like that. Good. So one more hold. And if you have the desire to try straightening out your left leg, you can do that. But just remember, you can reverse it too if it doesn't feel right. There are a number of reasons why this wouldn't work for somebody. So just follow the sensations of your body. Good. Now we're bringing the left foot back up onto the floor again. Take both ends of the strap in your left hand. Pull these toes down with the strap, okay? And actively pull your toes towards your face as you bring your right leg across the center line of your body. Now, this is going to be felt right here in the outer side of your hamstrings, from between the knee and the hip. And you'll notice I'm not doing a twist here. My spine is on the floor. My right hip is popping up just the tiniest little bit. And all I'm feeling is a big stretch in the leg, no twisting in the spine. Okay, another breath here. Okay, now let's take the strap off the right leg, put the right foot down on the floor, stretch those legs out, okay, and compare the right leg to the left. Maybe you feel like there's more blood flow happening in the right leg. Maybe you feel like the right leg is a little longer. All right, now we'll do the other side. So both feet on the floor again. Strap goes around the left leg. Pulling the toes down towards you, take a breath. As you exhale, pull the leg in. As you inhale, the leg goes out. 3 more times, and then we'll hold. Now we're holding. Take a breath. Let it go. Good. And we'll start moving the ankle. Up and down, just like that. Really working the calves here, the entire length of the back of the leg. And now one more hold, pulling those toes down towards you, bending the knee if you need to, making sure you feel this stretch in the back of your hamstring and not behind the knee. Now, take both ends of the strap in your right hand, okay? Cross. Oh, I skipped sorry guys, I skipped a piece. So we're holding and you have the option of stretching out your leg. Stretching out the right leg on the floor increases a stretch in the front of the right hip. Okay, now let's bring that right foot onto the floor again. Take both ends of the strap in the right hand. Use your cross your left leg over the center line. Keep your spine flat on the floor. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your jaw and your tongue relaxed. Take a breath and let it go slowly. Continue to keep pulling those toes in towards you, up towards your face. Pull up on your toes. That increases the stretch. All right, and now we will bring that leg back to the center line. Take the strap off. We're done with the strap, so put that off to the side. And both feet on the floor. Let's stretch the hips. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh and push on your right thigh. Push that thigh away from you. Sometimes this is enough to feel an amazing stretch. So if you're really enjoying this, stay where you are. If you're looking for something different or something a little deeper, you have two more options. You can take your bottom leg, your foreleg, in your hands like this. So one hand on the knee, one hand on the foot, on the bottom of the foot, and you can pull that leg in. Or if you want a little bit more than that, you can lift your left leg, interlace your hands between your left leg, interlace your hands behind your left leg, pulling both legs in. And whichever option you're doing, you might try rocking side to side a little bit. Okay, good. And now we will switch sides. So the foot comes down, we uncross the legs, and we'll go to the other side now. So whichever option you tried last time and you really liked, that's the option you can do on this side, okay? Okay, now we will put the feet back down on the floor, uncross the legs, stretch your legs out on the floor here. Inhale your arms up overhead. Big stretch for the front of the body. Wiggle your hips a little bit and bring your hands down to your sides. Well done. Okay, so before we get up and start really moving the body, let's get in touch with the core, with your transversus abdominis. Okay, so the transversus abdominis is the muscle that runs crosswise. It starts all the way down at your pubic bone and travels all the way up to your sternum. So you have these horizontal fibers that move across your belly from the top all the way to the bottom. We're going to focus first on the bottom, okay? There's this triangle of space right in front of your pelvis, at the very bottom of your belly. Take a breath. And as you exhale, pull that muscle down, release. So if you put your hands there on top of the muscle that we're trying to work, you should be able to feel that muscle come tense and move down. It's it's like you're trying to pull your shirt down or pull your belly away from your shirt. Okay, so the next part of this is to try to use that muscle to flatten your spine out against the floor. Now, if you have a prop under your back, please keep it there, but just know you won't be flattening your spine. That's okay. You should still be able to get the same activation of the muscle. So on the inhale, release, and exhale, tense your transversus abdominis and pull down towards the floor. Let's start moving that contraction up to include the fibers that go up to your rib cage and your sternum. So as you exhale, first pull down the muscle that's down at the very bottom of your abdomen, and then we will pull the ribs down in front, pressing the kidneys against the floor. And now we have the entire length of our transversus abdominis from bottom to top fully activated. So on the inhale, release. On the exhale, pull it down. Good. And release. Exhale, pull it down. So let's hold here. This transversus abdominis activation, hold it as long as you can. And we'll introduce lifting the arms. This is going to come in handy later when we're standing doing some movement. So we want to practice bringing the arms overhead without letting the rib cage pop up. So as you inhale, your arms go up, and as you exhale, your arms go down, and hopefully no part of your torso is moving at all. Now, sometimes this is quite a challenge. Just remember that this comes with practice. And maybe this is your first step, but guess what? You're on the path. So as we bring the hands down, we're going to rest, release that abdominal contraction. And now roll onto your side without twisting your spine. Bring your hips and your shoulders over together. Okay, place the hand on the floor and then press up, and we'll come to the all fours position, hands and knees, okay? With your wrists directly beneath your shoulders and your knees directly beneath your hips. Spread your fingers wide. Press actively into the floor through your hands. Bring your shoulders down away from your ears and press from the shoulder all the way down into the hand, and you will feel your shoulder blades wrap subtly around to the sides of your rib cage. Take a breath here, and as you exhale, shift your hips back. And as you inhale, come up. So this is how we do this while keeping the back straight. This is useful if you have low back injuries or any other reason why you shouldn't be curving your low back, all right? If that is really tight, you can also try taking your knees wider. That makes it easier for you to keep your back straight as you go down. So for those of us who are feeling pretty good in the low back and we don't have those disc injuries, we can actually tilt the tailbone down, drop the head, and come all the way back with a little curve in the back to stretch out those muscles. Inhale back up and lengthen your spine. Reach through your tailbone to the foot of your mat and reach through the top of your head to the top of your mat. Exhale, move back in whichever way you've chosen. Now, if you're keeping your back straight, you can also drop your head and feel a nice stretch in the neck and shoulders. Inhale up. Exhale back. Good. So let's move into some shoulder circles. Keep yourself in your neutral position. Your belly is pulled on. You're pulling up on your belly button to keep your back straight. And then we will move the shoulders in big circles. 3 in each direction here. Notice as you move, there are going to be some tight spots, some sticky spots. Maybe you can use your breath and your movement to move through those sticky spots and work them loose. And so if you need to hang out in one particular spot, do that. Use your yoga practice to fit your body. Good. Now, we're going to work with the plank position. So this is where we're going to use the block or the rolled up towel. I'd like you to place your block or whatever tool you're using between your thighs like this, okay? And come down onto your elbows, okay? Walk your knees out so that you're in a low plank position. So we're working the shoulders here as we press the elbows down into the floor. You can place your palms together and press your hands into each other. Now, what about the core? Yes, the core. Chances are you're feeling it already, and pull the belly button up. I'm going to add something for you. Reach long through the top of your head. Keep your bottom ribs knitted down in front. Breathe. Take breaks when you need to. And now let's come back to resting in child's pose. You can take your block out. Go into your chosen version of child's pose. Rest your head on the floor. You also have the option of bringing your hands together in the prayer position and bringing them behind your head like this, if that feels good for you. Okay, so next, after the next breath, we'll be moving back up into the hands and knees position to try one more plank. Come on back up. Block goes between the knees, down on the elbows, okay? Press your elbows into the floor. Hands are together, pressing into each other, pulling the belly button up towards the spine, lengthening through the top of your head. Squeeze that block a little bit, turn on your quads and turn on your glutes. So now we're really using the entire body to hold this plank position. If you want to try to lift your knees, you can tuck your toes, lift the knees. Just know that this takes a lot more effort. You can always lift the knees and lower like this. This is an option for those of us who are in between, right? Maybe we don't have the strength yet to hold the plank, but we can come up and stay briefly and lower the knees again, okay? And we'll come back to child's pose one more time. Take your block out, shift back to child's pose. This time, try tucking your toes so you can stretch your feet as you're in your child's pose. It's good to stretch your feet every day. Okay, let's come back up and I just wanted to show you guys a little something special called Gait Latch pose. This is going to be done in the kneeling position. So a lot of people find that working from the kneeling position is really hard on the knees. So you can always put a little pad there under your knee. I'm going to take off my socks so you can see my feet better. That's going to help you quite a lot. Right, so now, as you can see, I've got my left knee on the towel. I'm going to take my right foot out to the side like this. And my toes are pointing right at you, right at the camera. So from here, let's place the right hand on the right hip. Inhale the left hand up overhead. So for those of us who don't feel comfortable going into side bends, what you can do is reach through your left fingertips, lengthening up this side of you, lifting the bottom ribs away from the pelvis, press the top of your left foot into the floor so you have more of an anchor through the leg. Squeeze all the muscles of that left leg in towards the bone, the quads and the hamstrings and the gluteals. Now, for those of us who do like taking a little side bend, we can do that. We can go a little sideways like this. Only if it feels good, okay? Okay, and the next thing to do, let's give that arm a rest for a second. Okay, just do a few little circles. We're turning the toes up. That's right, turning the toes up. This means we're bending the knee just a little. And we're gonna do that same thing. The arm comes up, we reach high. We lean over, if we're leaning, right? So from here, let's try rocking on that heel. And of course, we're using the core here. You can even maybe place a hand on your belly to feel the stability. All right, we come back up, arm comes down, bring that leg in. All right, let's do just a few cat and cows before we move on to the other side. So exhale, pull your belly button up towards the ceiling, stretching out your back, moving back and forward like this while you're in the cat pose can feel pretty good. And then cow. Now, we don't dump the belly towards the floor in cow. Instead, we think about lengthening the spine, extending the neck just the tiniest little bit so that you can look at the baseboard in front of you. Exhale. So as you can tell, we can use our abdominals in every single pose, in every single movement. And when we do that, we get closer to having them fully integrated in all of our movements in daily life. Okay, so now we're doing our gait latch pose, standing on the right knee. Left leg goes out to the side, okay? Inhale, right arm up. Again, reaching tall to begin with, and if it's safe for you, lean a little. We don't need a lot here. It actually feels pretty good to do a little. You can feel this from your shoulder all the way down to your hip. Okay, we'll come back up, bring that arm down, do a few circles. Good. Next, turn your toes up. Good. Bend your knee a little. Good. And we'll do the same thing. Hand on the belly this time. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, lean. Good. And rocking a little bit on that heel. So if you're straight up and down like this, you can still rock on the heel. If rocking on the heel is not your thing, you don't have to do it, okay? Sometimes it's the knee, sometimes it's the hip, whatever it is. Do what feels right, okay? We'll bring that hand down and we'll go into just a few more rounds of cat-cow here. And then we're going to come to standing. So inhale, cow. Lengthening out, pull your shoulders away from your ears. And exhale into cat pose. Inhale. Exhale. And this is a really good opportunity for you to consider the intention from the beginning of class. How do I bring my body into a state that aligns with the joy that exists in the depths of the human experience. Okay, so now we can come to standing, and I'd recommend just using any method you like that feels safe to you, but whatever you do, use your core strength. Make sure you're supported so you can come up. And we're going to find mountain pose here. Mountain pose is just standing up with good posture, essentially, with mindfulness and with attention to the alignment of the bones, the activation of the core muscles that support us. So with the toes pointing forward, your feet can be any distance from each other that feels comfortable for you. When you're in your mountain pose, you want to be able to relax your shoulders down your back. You should feel your knees soft and springy. So if a puppy jumps on you, you will sway like bamboo and not fall over. Okay. Next, let's bring attention to this core. With your hands on your belly, take a breath. As you exhale, very gently, very subtly, pull on that transversus abdominis we were talking about later, from the bottom to the top. A really soft contraction here, though, not a really hard one. And you'll notice as you inhale, you can release, and as you exhale, you can try another contraction. This will lengthen out your low back. It lengthens your tailbone towards the floor. Okay. And creates a solid foundation from which you can lengthen through the top of your head, lengthening the back of your neck. So the head goes up and the shoulders come down. So let's lean forward onto the toes and lean back onto the heels, keeping the core engagement, the good alignment. The chin is very slightly tucked. Okay. And now we'll try going side to side. And all the while you're breathing and you're thinking, relax, relax. So we all know where our tight places are. Can you consciously, on your exhale, get that tight place to let go, to sink down a little bit deeper? Okay, now let's make these circles. We're just making circles on our feet here. And we can go in the opposite direction. And make your circles smaller and smaller until you settle like a pendulum right in the center. The weight of your body evenly pressing through the ball and the heel. In stillness, feel your breath. Use your breath to release tension down to the earth on the exhale. And tension moves through your body, through the feet, into the earth. Good. Let's work on the upper back, right? Because the upper and the lower are so closely intertwined. The first thing I'd like to have you do is, oh yes, some elbow circles. Place your hands on your shoulders. Take a breath. And as you exhale, bring the elbows towards each other in front. Lift, point them up and back and down. Now remember when I said that we were using an abdominal activation that was going to help us when we were standing? This is what I'm talking about. Can you do these movements and keep your ribs pinned down in the front? I'll turn to the side so you can see what I mean. As I lift my shoulders, my arms up, My rib cage doesn't stick out like that, right? It stays put. This takes abdominal control. And next, let's try the reverse. So we're taking the arms up, around, to the front, and down. Inhale as they go up. Exhale as they come down. All right, now a victory pose. Roll your shoulders back and down, turn your palms to the front, find your mountain pose. And while you're standing here, squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you without lifting them like this, right? We're opening the chest just a little bit by squeezing the shoulder blades, and the rib cage stays put. Again, I'll turn to the side so you can see what I mean. The tendency for a lot of people with compensation is to do it like this. We're looking for this. The front stays flat. Okay, now we're gonna hold this, but if you feel too tight to hold, you can let go and rejoin when you're ready. So go into the sensations of your body. Can you feel the muscles towards the bottoms of your shoulder blades pulling in towards the spine? Can you feel your legs supporting you? Can you turn on the muscles of your legs and your abdominals to make this a whole body exercise? Okay, now we can release. Roll the shoulders. Let's try some more arm movements. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time. Now we're going to try one arm. So as you inhale, right arm goes up. Exhale, half cactus. Bend your elbow, bring that arm down. Inhale up. This time, as you bring your elbow down, turn your head to the left. Inhale to center. We'll do that 2 more times. Feel your shoulder blade moving here. Feel your abdominals supporting you and your hips supporting you. Bring that arm down. Good. Roll the shoulder. And we'll do the other side. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left arm bends into half cactus, head goes to the right. Inhale to center. 2 more times. Good. And comes down. Was one shoulder different from the other? Probably. Okay. Let's do both arms. Exhale, cactus. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus. As you bring your arms down, again, squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. Inhale, arms up. Keep the head back, keep the rib cage down. Good. Hold here and breathe. Try to keep your neck soft. Strengthening the upper back. And release your hands down. Okay. So, let's try some hip strengthening. Okay, so we're going to go into some warrior 1. Warrior 1 means the front, we're in a lunge type position. My legs are making a triangle. Front foot, toes are facing this way. Back foot, toes are pointing somewhere over there, right? The foot's at an angle. And be sure that you are keeping an eye or your attention on the foot so that we don't have, collapsing into the arch like that or rolling onto the outer edge either. We want to be squarely planted on that foot, okay? So we're going to bring the arm movements that we were doing into our warrior. But first, we'll just inhale into a little bend of the knee and exhale, straighten. This is getting the hips and the feet a chance to adjust. You can change your foot position anytime. Keep your eyes open here. Now, if you notice that your knee goes all the way out like this, as you can see, my knee has passed my ankle, then you need to bring your foot a little further out, okay? We don't want to let that knee go past the ankle. You can also consider just making a smaller movement, right? So let's add the arm motions. If we bring the hands together in front of us, we can inhale, open the arms as we come forward, and exhale, come back. So we're definitely strengthening the back in this position. So what we want to think about is making that spine tall as we do this movement, using the abdominals to support it. And if you're feeling compression in your low back, try bringing your shoulders forward as you come into your warrior. Shoulders come forward. This lengthens out the low back. So now we can try holding warrior one. Let's take the arms out of it though. Place your hands on your hips. Make sure your hip points are pointing right at the front of the mat. You're going to come into your warrior. Press down into your hips through your hands, lifting your spine up tall. How do I move my body? How do I hold this pose in a way that feels comfortable for me? You are allowed to do this pose different from how the teacher said. All right, let's come to center. Shake out the feet a little, and we'll try the other side. Okay. Something I didn't point out on the other side is the width distance of the feet from each other. If I turn this way, you'll see my feet are not right in line, right? I might fall over if I do that. So give yourself lots of space. Ready? We'll start with just bending the knee, trying it out. How do I feel in this pose? Where does this pose bother me, if it bothers me? Is it the low back? If it is, perhaps you might be tilting your pelvis forward and dumping into your low back like that, right? So if that's the case, you can bring it back the other way, lengthen upwards, right? Now we can add the arms, hands together in front of you, open. Move your shoulders forward as you come forward. Just slightly, it's a subtle adjustment. Do you feel even from the right to the left on your back? If you don't, what can you change? All right, one more time. And after this, we'll be holding. So let's put the hands on the hips, bend the knee, press into the hips, lengthen yourself up nice and tall. Each time you exhale, think about your head going about 1 millimeter taller. maybe even 2 millimeters taller. Okay, and we'll relax. Sometimes you need to shake it out, right? Jump, bounce. All right. So we're going to come back down to hands and knees now. And use this time to move your spine in a way that feels good. So if you have any last little tight areas in the spine that you were hoping to address with your yoga practice today, slither, twist, turn, shoulder circles, it's all available to you now to try to get it out. Coming back and forward is an option. Use your breath. Bring your attention into the sensations. See if you can even find the smallest sensation possible. Good. All right, so one last thing before we go into final rest. Please come onto your back and have your towel or your blanket available for you. And lift your hips enough to get that towel or blanket underneath you. Right away, this feels pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna have you push your elbows into the floor and pull yourself away from your hips. Now, from this tractioned position, we're still got some tension on the elbows here. I'd like to have you gently arch your spine away from the floor. So this is a really gentle bridge pose to strengthen the muscles of your back while you are tractioning your low back. Training your muscles to hold those bones away from each other. Good, relax. Let's do that again. Ready? Press into your elbows, pressing the elbows towards the heels. Arch your back away from the floor just a little, really gentle. If you're feeling tension behind your kidneys or anywhere else, try using a little bit less contraction. And back down again. We'll do this just one more time. 3 is a good number. So inhale, slide the elbows towards the heels, lift the arch away from the floor. Back off if needed. And then release. Get that towel from underneath you. Put your hips back on the floor. Again, if you have any need for propping under your lumbar spine, this is a good time to have that. So for final rest, you can keep your knees bent, right? You can even turn your knees towards each other, or you can straighten your legs out on the floor. Like this. Whatever you choose to do, make sure that it's comfortable for you. And we're going to spend a few minutes relaxing completely. Allow your body to be supported by the floor underneath you. Release all effort. Let go a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Watch your breath. See if you can find a relationship between the breath and any part of your body that might tense habitually Where do you hold your tension? And is there a relationship between that tension and your breath? Does the tension happen on the inhale, exhale? Does it not even seem to matter? Bringing consciousness to your involuntary patterns. It's an important tool for breaking old habits and forming new healthy ones. Next, we'll use the F sound, F as in Frank. On the exhale, make your F and stretch your F out as long as you can. Three more times, please. Relax. You can stay in this position as long as you like. When it's time to come up, bend your knees, roll to your side, and stay on your side at least one full round of breath before you come up to seated. Come to standing slowly. Thank you for joining Spine Care Foundation's class today. May the rest of your day be joyful. May you be happy. May you be well and healthy. From my heart to yours, best wishes.